I know my strength. With this strength that I have, I can do this course without even having to be pressurized. You see? So education, I'm just flowing. I'm not getting A's, but I'm just flowing.
No, I think I get you. So it's a matter of a person knowing themselves, man.
Yeah,
Because if you know you do pass, but you have to struggle. You have to invest most of your time.
You can pass, but you struggle for you to get that A or to get that H.
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the best way to actually succeed in having your dreams is that you have to evaluate your strengths firstly. Hello. Welcome back to EduKnowledge Exchange. Today we have our founder, Thulani Mutise. He is the owner of Mutise Media, dealing mainly with graphic designing, production, and podcast. That's the gist exactly of what he does. He is also an education student at the University of the Western Cape, among other things. He does a lot of things. If I could name his CV, we'll have the whole day here. But let's just talk to him directly, get to know him, mainly about what is Mutise Media about and how was it founded, why was it founded. Let's find out just more about him in general. Thulani, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I am good, thank you. So, you are a man of many talents.
Everyone
you
says
do
that.
So many things. You do everything at this point, and I want you to tell me about how did you make it to Cape Town, where are you from, and what mainly made you start a media company? Like from being an education student to a media company, how did that link, and were you always passionate about it?
I don't even know where to begin. It's quite a long question, but I'll try to narrow it down. So I'm from Limpopo. I always struggle to pronounce the word Limpopo, guys. Yeah, so I'm from there. I came to Cape Town in 2022 to do my first year at UWC. So how I came about to do media, I think through the years of studying and trying to navigate life, and also coupled with me having much of enthusiasm in wanting to grow myself, or having much ambitions, having a lot of businesses, mindset. That I think that's the one that birthed or brought to the existence of my podcast. I mean, not the podcast, but like the production. I always desire to do more for my life. I always want to to create something, man, out of nothing. I always think of ideas. I always learn new skills every day. I would say every day, because when I learn a new skill today, tomorrow I will get tired of that skill, or not get tired, but like I want to advance more, even though it's within the same umbrella of or industry, if I can put it in that way. So me being a student at UWC, studying and having a boring life, and struggling as a student. I mean, every student struggles, especially if a student that is funded by NSFAS. Once you are funded by NSFAS, it means your parents really can't do much for you or afford you that well, or afford you the life that you want. So I always wanted to do something that can at least bring me some food or put peanut butter on the table as a student.
Peanut butter is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, peanut butter is quite expensive for NSFAS students. So
yeah, to be fair, it is expensive.
So I started some few things. I always wanted to be in the media space, even though the media is very broad, but the challenge is like, how do you even narrow down to a specific industry or to a specific niche of media? So I learned different skills. Like I said, I'm always learning. I learned graphic designing, but graphic designing, I learned it while I was still in high school. So I came here already knowing how to design, but I was just advancing the skill. And then from here, because I'm interested in media, started having desires to own a camera one day. I started a YouTube channel and watching a lot of YouTube videos. So I see how people speaking about content creation. So, my zeal and desires started growing, and I started having a burning desire to also want to be in the media space, or also wanting to own a camera. And then that brought about me wanting to get into that space, and how do I get money to do that? And that was the question. So I had to figure that out and try by all means to save every cent that I get. I think I can speak, and if you don't actually stop me, I can waffle around until...
You can say a whole lot of things, finishing my questions at the end of the day, because you've literally answered everything that I was about to ask you. But that's fine. You said you're from Limpopo, right?
Yeah.
And where in Limpopo are you from? Is it a village? Is it maybe somewhere like Polokwane?
Sure.
Were you an advantaged person growing up? Did you know that you'll end up being here, owning a media company? Tell us about that part of your life.
It's an interesting question. Coming to Cape Town. I'm from, in Limpopo, I'm from Guyana. I'm Tsonga. Nablavula, so yeah, I'm from that side.
And that's on Happy Heritage.
And I saw people were dancing Shibelane soon. Recently. Is it yesterday? Yeah, I think there's a Tsonga culture that is going around or going on here at UWC. So yeah, I'm from there. I'm a Tsonga. Like, is it the traditional culture? What do you say? How do you even... those things. So yeah. Coming to Cape Town, yes, I think when I was in grade 12, my young brother, Emmanuel, came to Cape Town, and also my friend, Mighty, came to Cape Town. Those are the people that were very close to me, especially Mighty, because someone that I was very connected to when I was still in high school. So they came this side, and, they also ignited the desire to also want to come to Cape Town. And it's like some of us who's from Limpopo, everyone in Limpopo, like when we think of Cape Town, it's like, hey, you have made it in life. Once you come to Cape Town, it's like you have made it in life. So it's like, okay, let me also try and get myself into this space. But I think it was not actually by my ability or just... Like, it was something that I believe it was divinely orchestrated. I like to think it in that way, you see. It's something that was God's plan. Because, like, when I was in high school, after completing my matric, I had some challenges there and there. I couldn't really come to university because of some other challenges or personal things that I might not mention. But so I took a gap year, which was not really intentional. In that gap year, I applied to many universities, guys. I think 7 or 8 universities. All of them declined or sent me unprofessional. Not all of them, sorry. Almost all of them, but only one that accepted me, and that was UWC. Even though the application was not even complete, I was surprised. Like, how? Because my application, even the confirmation email that you get when you apply, I didn't have it. I'm telling you.
Okay, it makes sense
so
why you say it's God's plan.
I was surprised. I applied at CPUT, and CPUT, they sent me unsuccessful email saying that I did not meet minimum requirement. And to my surprise, like every investor I applied, I always tell people that are very close to me that, I find it very strange that every investor that I applied in, I was qualifying for that specific program, you see, because I checked the prospectus. I already knew, I was much familiar with the prospectus, how to navigate it, how to calculate the APS scores and everything and all those things. So I qualified for all of those things, but everything was declined, you see. So,
and to learn, there's an interesting question that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Since you moved from Limpopo, you always wanted to go out of Limpopo. And I know there's this saying that people that are from Limpopo, they always want to go to Joburg, some type thing, And you also wanted or you desired to go to the city, and it was almost everyone's thing. Are you planning to go back home?
What a question. What a question.
We must know if Joburg is eating you, if the city is eating you, you're going back home.
I think it's eating. I think eating is not even a big word. It's swallowing me actually. The city is swallowing me, guys.
Tilani's never going back to Limpopo, guys. Forget about him.
Yeah, but I think if it wasn't because of my parents, guys, I don't want to lie. Even this year I was going to stay.
You're never going to step foot in Limpopo ever again.
Those uncles, those uncles.
Yeah, those uncles that leave
to buy a car and then they never come
and
back.
never return.
Yeah, I mean, I like it here, guys. It's a good space, man, especially if you are someone that want to navigate businesses. You see, like, it's a good space for you to grow in that space. Cape Town is one of the, I think this year was ranked number 1 in, beautiful city, right? I know it's a beautiful
it always has been the most beautiful city.
Yeah, so it's a nice to be here, guys. Even though everything is very expensive to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very quite
Okay,
expensive.
so owning a whole media company, dealing with so many different things in that one media company, and being a student at the same time, how do you navigate your life?
Yo, speaking about that, I just came back from my teaching practice, guys. And honestly speaking, I have so much submissions, and also I have so much edits that I need to do for videos. Like now, I'm producing a podcast of this other organization. So having to edit all of them and also editing this one, you see, is also, and because editing doesn't really come easy. You have to sit for hours and hours listening to the podcast. Let's say, for example, let's say this episode is going to take us 1 hour to shoot. I have to sit you have to double or 3 that hour, because now you have to listen.
So you have to listen,
back,
stop and re-listen, stop, cut, and all of that.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of time. So now me coming back from teaching practice, I have so much work. Tapelo can you can attest to this, man.
By the way, Tapelo is the guy at the background. I forgot to mention him, guys, but you are not hearing voices, I promise. There's someone at the back.
Yeah, so we just came back from teaching practice, so it's having to balance now my school work and this media thing, because I really want to give myself to it. It's something that I'm thinking maybe one day it will yield some fruits and put like peanut butter on the table, like I said.
Yeah.
It's not like I love peanut butter, guys.
Yeah, you've done a really great job. I should really commend you on that. Looking at you being a student, but while being a founder of a company and navigating
You should
well.
make it sound so big, guys. It's not like
It
it's not a big.
It is quite big. Dealing with photography, dealing with graphic design, editing, like that's most of your life right there.
Yeah.
And you have a whole degree to take care of. So like, I really should commend you on that. I think you're doing a great job. Like your edits are really cool, sir.
Yeah.
I should give you that.
I'm still in the beginning.
Another thing that I wanted to ask is that owning a media company, are you dealing with only the media part, the background part, or do you want to be seen on our screens more often? Are you planning to be on the screens more often? Or do you prefer staying in the back all the time?
What a question. That is a question I ask myself every day. I have a podcast. I have a YouTube channel, personal YouTube channel, and I'm sure by me telling you that I have a YouTube channel, that will answer your question, that I want to be in front of the cameras.
Okay.
But
often.
I don't mind being in front of the cameras, but specifically when some of the stuff, like for example with this podcast, when it was started, because I couldn't do everything on my own. Like I can't be the person shooting and also the person presenting or hosting guests, you see, because who's gonna see what's happening with the cameras? So there must be someone that is monitoring the stuff and also getting people to work with. Since I'm not, like I said, you're still a student. I don't have money at the moment to pay staff or people. So I was like, okay, let me just start by being at the back and get people to be in front. And as time goes by, because I did plan that one day I want to come as a person in front of the camera and introduce myself and
Yeah.
tell the people that, oh, I'm this guy, I'm the person that do this production or does this and that, you see.
Thank you for finally making it. We've been asking to interview this person, and he finally said yes on the 42nd episode.
Yeah.
It took really 40 episodes for you to finally decide to come. Anyway, another thing that I wanted to ask is that what type of people that would you like in your team? Maybe there's someone out there, they're currently in matric, they're not really interested in doing extracurricular stuff that are offered by universities like sports and all of that, and they really want to do something fun like being on the screen or even being behind the scenes, being a director, creative director and all of that. What kind of people or what kind of criteria do you want in your team, and how does one make it to your team ultimately?
It's very easy to you just reach out. I'm just a text away, text away or email away. You can navigate our social media like a podcast if you want to be part of us. We are actually looking for those kind of people that are willing. So the criteria is not really much. You don't have to have a degree of presenting or you don't have to have a degree in media or anything. But if you have, it's a bonus, you see. But come expected, not like at the moment we're not really, not me not say, but remuneration and stuff. But I'm more into looking for people that people that are willing, man. It's my pastor always say that it's best to work with someone that is willing than someone that has a skill but is not willing to do the job, you see. So someone that is willing to learn, is not just willing to be available, because you can be available and just waste the space here. But you must be willing to work and be willing to learn what we're doing here. And self-education. Recently, I just had a phrase or a quote that says, self-education is the only education there is. You know what that means? It means that university can teach you the stuff. Lectures can lecture you, right? They just read through the slides. A teacher can stand there in front and teach you the information or the content. But for you to learn that content doesn't depend on the lecturer, or doesn't depend on the teacher. For you to grasp that content, you need to sit down and relearn it and learn it yourself. Sit down and have your own understanding, you see. And one the last time, or let me not say the last time. After hearing that phrase, quote, man, I was triggered, or I was struck. I was like, yeah, actually, this is me, because the things that I've been doing in my life, it's a self-taught. Graphic designing, I think, I know people that went to university to do graphic designing. But when I compare my designs or my artwork was way better than the person that went to university. He has a whole degree. I'm not boasting, but I'm just saying it's. So
not graphic designers catching strays, bro.
I do believe that self-education is really a only education that you can find. That the person can participate in.
So you mentioned that after matric, there was a year where you couldn't get into a university and you took an unplanned gap year. Unfortunately, that is a reality for most of our matric students here in South Africa. And it's quite sad that a person working so hard, you applied into universities. Somebody would say that you end up taking an unplanned gap year because of you did not apply, you were lazy, you did not do that. But the reality is there are people out there that are doing their level best to actually make it into university. They're working hard in matric, but they just ultimately end up taking an unintentional gap year. How did you navigate your life after an unplanned gap year? What did you do during that year? How did you really adjust that from going to school every day to all of a sudden doing nothing but in hopes of doing something the following year?
Ish. Let me start by saying that, after matric, it was very challenging to comprehend. I'm very enthusiastic person in terms of when it comes to advancing myself, like I said before. I want to learn more and more and more. So it's, even though people like they find it different, like they think I don't love education. I mean school, man. And people they think, hey, this guy doesn't love school. I don't love school, but I love learning. You see, I don't love traditional school, but I love, or I like it when I'm learning new things every day. And a school or university is a place where you can learn new things. So I wanted to be in the space, but because of those challenges, so I was stressing so much. So in my gap year, and I thank God for that gap year, you see, because it is through that gap year that I actually had to reflect on myself. And some people, they call it self-inspection or introspection. So I had to do that also for myself. At first, I wanted to do, I had a burning desire to do civil engineering. And so in that year of my gap year, when I was applying, because I tried to reflect on myself and, think, what really can I do? I'm someone that is more passionate in business, right? And me being passionate in business and school as well, wanting to learn. So I was like, how do I find balance? Then I had to think of what is the career or qualification that I can do, or program that I can do in university that wouldn't really take much of my time. I know I won't say like I'm an A student, but if by any chance the exam is not really that strong, I can I can tackle it. You see, I can manage to beat the exam. So I can get then like those A's also. So I'm not really that person, right? So what I did is I thought of a course that I can do in the university that won't really take much of my time, so that I can spare some time for other stuff, so for other commitments.
So what are you trying to say, that education is easy enough for you to do everything else? Wow.
It is for me.
Wow.
I don't want to and this is what I advise. I would advise, or someone, if you ask me, what is the advice that you can give me if I want to study or to go to university? Because most of the matriculants, the mistake they do is that, because they pass matric, in matric you start very hard, like you never before, right? Like never before, you start very hard.
That's true.
And because of that moment that you start very hard for like a short while, you mistakenly get an A. You see now?
Mistakenly.
I'm telling you.
Not mistakenly.
Okay, mistakenly is not the word.
Mistakenly is not the word. Look for a better word, sir.
Okay.
I worked too hard to tell me that I mistakenly got a distinction.
It means you are capable if you get it.
Okay, you are capable, nah? But it's just that you don't put in the work in most cases. Like,
so what are you trying to say? That you never apply the same pressure you've applied to yourself in everywhere else but in matric?
Yeah, so people, they only apply pressure in matric, right? So, and then they will get good marks. But when you go to university, man, like we are much free this side, so that pressure is no more. You see, you're going to be relaxed. So what I'm telling you, the mistake that people make, I'm telling you, Tapelo, this is the mistake a lot of students make. They apply for a university degree or course that they qualify based on their marks, of course, and they take the one that their marks, like their maximum marks can take them. Like, let's say you got higher marks, and you can qualify to do actual science, or you can qualify to do medicine, for example, for instance. But you know that in grade 12, you only studied for that moment because you wanted to make it in the papers, right?
I'm sorry to differ. I'm sorry to differ, but I think that's controversial. Very controversial. That is because what you're trying to say, that people do not work hard in their dreams; they just work hard enough to make it into their dream course. Yes,
that is very true. It's happening. A lot of. I'm telling you.
No,
that is why when you come to
you can't dream to be a doctor for most of your life and work hard enough just in matric.
No, like,
ending up not being a doctor at the end of the day.
What I'm saying is, a lot of people, they get good marks in grade 12, and then they go for like big courses. You see?
Okay.
Let me add on that. I think it's true. It's starting from the teachers actually. So if you are getting good marks, this is what the teacher will say. The teacher will say, because you are getting good marks, please make sure that you apply for medicine. Please make sure that you're a doctor. Make sure that you do extra science. Don't say be a teacher, for example, but you're getting an A. So I think it's starting with you guys, the teachers.
We knew you were a teacher to be. So you see, Tando. What is happening is that a lot of students or a lot of us, when we're in grade 12, we end up making mistake of going for like a course that is gonna require a lot of strength from you that you cannot even provide. You see, so and that will even deprive what your social life. You understand? You won't get the social life. You won't get anything. So, and of course, university, man, the way students socialize, you will forget about the books, man. I'm telling you. So for me, what I did is, let me go for a course that I will take like 60% of my time and invest in the course, and 40% of my time invest on my personal life. You see? Because I know the course I'm taking, with my strength, I know my strength. So I had to discern my strength. I know my strength. With this strength that I have, I can do this course without even having to be pressurized. You see? So education, I'm just flowing. I'm not getting A's, but I'm just flowing.
I think I get you. So it's a matter of a person knowing themselves, man.
Yeah.
Because if you know you do pass, but you have to struggle. You have to invest most of the time.
You can pass, but you struggle for you to get that A or to get that
So,
H.
if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the best way to actually succeed in having your dreams is that you have to evaluate your strength firstly, and then you make sure that you're not setting up yourself for failure just because you're doing a difficult course, ending up failing in it. Just do a course that will make you succeed at the end of the day while not taking your all.
Yeah,
That's what you're trying to say.
Not your own, man, but I think the way I'm understanding it, man, because he mentioned also social life, your well-being as well. So there are people that actually they do pass, but after that you can see the person that is not even mentally well after that. So I think it's what he's mentioning, that you should know yourself. So for him, he's versatile. He mentioned that learning for him is a verb. You mentioned that learning, we have to get to do things, for yourself. So for him, he wanted to be in that space. He wanted to do other things and stuff like that. So I was like, no, let me take a course that will allow me to be this flexible and stuff.
Yeah, so I took a course that will allow me to have like a flexible schedules or time to learn other stuff.
A gap year allowed you to actually plan and replan and facilitate your life and actually learn how to navigate your life when you finally get into university.
Definitely.
So a gap year is not really something horrible, but it's bad enough if you don't. It's bad if you don't invest in it and actually use it to plan and navigate your life through.
On that note, sorry to mention, but I won't be long now.
Yeah.
So in my gap year, I made sure that I get a job as soon as possible. You see, so I applied for jobs earlier as possible. By April, I was already working in this other construction company, you see. And then I worked for like 4 months, if not, 4 months or 5, if I'm not mistaken. And then that job, the contract ended. It was the end of like the construction site. So then from there, because I was working very hard, they recommended me to another company immediately. Like I finished with the job this year, this week, and then the following week I got another job. So that job also I worked throughout the year. So in that year, I used that money. My plan was, let me buy a laptop, let me buy a clothes, good, like nice clothes that I can use when I go to university. Even the bag.
That's so cute.
So that when I go to university next year, I'm not struggling. Because they say like when you go to university, there's this pressure of like dressing because you're no longer wearing like uniforms and stuff. So it's like, okay, let me prepare myself for that. I did prepare myself for that, and I don't regret. I'm telling you.
So what I learned here is that investing your gap year, it is unfortunate that if it's not planned, it's really unfortunate because of you spending your whole matric life planning for the following year, and it unfortunately does not happen. You don't get into any university and all of that. So even if that happens to a person that is in matric right now, the reality is although everybody is inspired right now and is motivated to go into university next year, the reality is not everyone is going to make it.
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
Not everyone is going to make it. But if you do find yourself in a gap year, invest in it. Do something that will grow you, ultimately that will help you when you finally get into a university. And sometimes you don't even need to go into a new university.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I will always advocate for education. If you don't get into a university, do something else. Get into a college, get into a TVET college. Just make sure that you invest your life into something else. Okay, now back into Mutise Media, right? How did you start the company? What did you start with? Did you just buy a camera and start shooting people? What happened?
So the media business mind or the media plan for me to own a media company, I had it even when I was in high school. You see, so now it's just like I think it is more like it is manifesting. I just feel like it is manifesting way faster than I hoped for.
Yeah, you had anticipated.
Yeah, the way I anticipated, because I thought I'm gonna start when I start working and get some money to buy the equipment.
The cameras,
so fortunately,
and
like,
eventually.
like fortunately, the things happened that I got money by some stuff. So to buy those cameras, even now it's not really a big establishment, but I think like as I grow every day by day, we'll end up having like a huge media company that can even employ so many people. That's my desire, to actually end up employing people. I mean, so that people can put peanut butter on the table.
This man is obsessed with peanut butter, guys.
So the plan, I had it like already from back home. Yeah.
Yeah, like every entrepreneur, main goal is to create employment at the end of the day, and we do commend you for that. And yeah, it takes courage, money, and planning and intelligence to establish something that big. And we hope that one day you do grow into, and we pray and we know that God will pull through and you'll be able to grow that big company and employ as many people as you want.
Yeah, I think before you can cut me, sorry to interrupt, even though you are the host, but I wanted to mention something, man.
Yeah.
I think the company itself, like the production is actually growing, because now we are producing this show now.
Yeah.
We've been producing this EduKnowledge exchange show, and the production of the show is my production. Yes, it's my company, and now people are reaching out. You see,
I was about to ask about that.
Okay.
Are there any other services that you do within the company? We know that it's photography. What else are you doing? Are you producing for other podcasts as well? How are you doing it? How do people reach out? How are you actually planning on facilitating the whole process?
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to grow like a media production. So it's called, the organization, it is registered as Mutise in business enterprise, right? But the trading name is Mutise Creative Agency. Why is it agency? Agency is because we offer so many services, right? We're trying to offer, we offer graphic designing services. We have like now broadcast production. We have photograph, we do photograph as well. And what else? I do sometimes this time around, I do also do some workshops where I do some small trainings of people who request me to teach them on this subject, you see, or concepts. So it's pretty much that. So the desire or the aim is to have that production that can offer those services, but also like I want to have in the production a learning or training part of that media where people can come and buy courses. Of course, it won't be for free because people need to be paid for, the people that are going to be rendering the services. So you see, but with the training one, what I was planning is that, or what I'm planning is to, let's say you are you went to university to study something like, let's say, video editing. You can my company can become as a mediator between you and the clients. You see, you come and teach people through my company, and then I get percentage of that money that your students will get. You see, it's more like that in the
We're thinking
training
about the business at the moment, sir. How do people reach out? How do people reach out? How do people get to your services? Photography, production. How how do people come to you and actually
so like the challenge for me that I
that?
have now is I do everything on my own at the moment. So some people they call me jack of all trades, even though jack of all trades is a master of none.
Yeah.
But I believe that I will one day focus on one thing. And now I'm learning these skills because I want to be knowledgeable about all of them. That if I employ you, Tando, to be a graphic designer, I already know how that space is like. You see,
Yeah.
I know how even though you went to university for it, but I also have a clue what is going on. You see, like you let's say you ask someone to come and build a house for you. You don't know how the house is being built. The people can, especially back home, they can build like a very bad stuff. So how do you reach out to our podcast? Not our podcast, to
Media.
me actually, or to media. At the moment, I didn't really wanna be more online. Like my presence online is not that big. I'm trying to push more of the podcast side. You see. So to reach out, if you can reach out in the podcast or through the podcast, EduKnowledge Exchange podcast, then it means you are reaching out to me.
Okay,
You
so
see, just reach out
you
to
send a
EduKnowledge.
DM somewhere, an
You can
email.
you can send messages, email. The email is there on podcast.
Okay, and on all social media
And
platforms, right?
Just say you are looking for production.
For production company.
Yeah, then they're gonna refer you to me, of course, because I'm not the one that is managing the social media like all of them for the podcast. You see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It was a great time having you. We had so much fun. We learned so much from you, and we hope that we continue to see more of you on our screens one day. And
Actually, yeah, I will be on the screen.
okay, we can't wait for you to see whatever that you're planning to do. We hope that you actually get to grow the company and employ more people as you had planned. Thank you. That's it from us, guys. If you're still here, you've made it to the end of the episode. Please continue to interact with the content, like, subscribe, share, and comment, and also follow us on all our social media platforms, that is Facebook and Instagram. Till next time.